man, we back with another video. Today we got Good Kid, mAAD City. But it's anime. I already reacted to the album for the first time ever like a month ago. And like that's one of the biggest videos on my channel. And I already did this for Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. If you haven't seen that video, check out the breakdown and the album reaction. I already reacted to the album and broke it down, watched the breakdown. So this is kind of like watching the breakdown for Kid mAAD City, which I haven't done. And I'm going to do that for all the other Kendrick albums that I reacted to. Most of the comments kind of like spoiled it, the breakdown for me already because, you know what I'm saying, they was calling me an idiot. But, you know what I'm saying, this is going to be the breakdown video. We're going to react to it. But it's kind of cool because it's animated. So I get to watch and like see kind of like what Kendrick was saying. Without further ado, this was made by Cholito. Shout out Cholito. Bro, animating is an art, bro. And it's super hard, so shout out to bro.
A lot of people think they know.
Oh yeah, the original video is gonna be in the description.
Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, mAAD City. I honestly doubt it. Here,
from what I remember for Good Kid, mAAD City, it's he's going throughout his day in Compton with his friends. He starts off with Shireen. He's trying to get it on with Shireen. He takes his mom's van. His dad asks for his Dominoes. Then his dad is drunk and he's trying to get it on with Kendrick's mom. Yeah. And then Shireen cousins or uncles or brothers or sisters or goddamn uncles and aunties and they jump Kendrick. And then his homies end up shooting the guy that jumped Kendrick, and then like one of Kendrick's homies got shot, which was like Dave's brother, or Dave got shot or something like that. And then they ended up praying at the end of the album, and then his dad called and was like, I don't even care about my Dominoes. I heard about what happened to your friend. That's all I remember. So yeah,
we're not only gonna be revisiting the album, we're gonna be dissecting every.
It was a phenomenal album.
And how this is Kendrick's greatest album.
Greatest album is a stretch. I say, damn, this is his greatest album.
Lamar's Good Kid, mAAD City is more than just a bunch of random songs. No, it tells the story on how Kendrick became the success he is today by battling his inner demons, trauma, and how in just one single day, Kendrick would be faced with the hardest choice of his life. So, what does it mean to be a good kid in a mAAD City?
I said that like me. That like me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
the album starts with a prayer.
Lord God, I come to you a sinner, and I humbly repent for my sins.
Now this is no doubt the most important line of the entire album, and somehow it's the first thing we hear. A rather interesting way to start since it gives us a...
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I said that it's interesting. It's so cool how Kendrick into what's the word I'm looking for? I'm yapping too much. I usually don't talk this much. I'm high off this goddamn Ghost energy drink. Yeah. I need a sponsorship. I be downing these like they're bottles of water. I need the energy to get these videos out.
But who are these people?
I'm amped up, bro.
Praying for? That's when you start
I'm
getting
get
a sense
sturdy
of
in this
something
bitch.
not being right.
Bro, that sound is like so nostalgic. It made me feel good. I don't know why. That's so fire.
Represents a key figure in this album, a girl that would change the whole trajectory of everything to come after. Shireen. The song kicks off at this house.
Nah, the way Kendrick was talking about her, she had to be like, goddamn, some fine shit for real. You know what I'm saying?
Compton, where a young 17-year-old Kendrick meets this girl, Shireen.
Met her at this house party on El Segundo in Central. She had the credentials of strippers in Atlanta. Hello, my name is Kendrick. She said, no, you're handsome. Whispered in my ear.
And then I said, what I say? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Disappeared, they found her dancing.
She's captivating. It's beyond anything he's felt before. But this girl, Shireen, becomes a huge temptation for Kendrick. The way that he describes her, all rough and focusing on her physicality, shows the youthful impulsiveness that drives so many of his decisions in this album. This is where the concept of choice starts to take place. We learned in the song that Shireen is affiliated with gang in her family.
Yeah.
Cousin Demetrius is a reputable family history of gang banging did make me skeptical.
He's able to acknowledge these red flags, but still chooses to pursue her anyways, driven by his lust. So when the opportunity presented...
Nah, Kendrick a horny nigga, bro. I just realized that. Like, Mr. Morales Vex Steppers, he said that he had a sex problem. Nigga just a horn dog. You know what I'm saying? I heard Kanye say that most, like, successful men have high sex drives. No wonder I'm a goddamn... a freaky frog.
So for Kendrick to go over, he doesn't hesitate to take his mom's vanity.
Go ahead on, boy. Go ahead on.
And I'm thinking about that ex, thinking about her thighs, or maybe kissing on her neck, or maybe what position's next. 2 blocks away, 250 feet, and 6 steps from where she stays.
But as Kendrick inches closer and closer to Shireen,
Pulled up, a smile on my face, and then I see 2 niggas, 2 black hoodies. I froze as my phone rang.
the track here suddenly stops. A very simple story. Boy meets girl, girl becomes a problem, and consequences begin. But after this point, you're left wondering...
Wait, I thought he smashed Shireen, though.
What just happened? Are these two hooded people involved with Shireen? Was this all a plot towards Kendrick? Even considering Kendrick's mom refers to Shireen as a hood rat in the ending skit of the song.
Kendrick, where you at? Damn, sitting here waiting on my van. You told me you was gonna be back in 15 minutes. You on your way or what? I hope you ain't out there messing with them damn hood rats out there, especially that crazy ass girl Shireen.
As the album progresses, you're able to see that Shireen, aka Master Splinter's daughter, is sort of a starting point.
Okay, who the fuck is Master Splinter, motherfucker? Is she related to the Ninja Turtles? What the fuck, Shireen? What?
For Kendrick,
Teenage Mutant Ninja
to
Turtles.
confront his own identity. Who is Kendrick? Who does Kendrick want to become? It represents a crossroads where the wrong choice can lead to horrible outcomes. So, who is Kendrick gonna choose to be after this just happened?
Fuck it, Kendrick, be a horny nigga, bro. God damn, bro. Fuck it, bro. You know what I'm saying? God to forgive you.
Don't Kill My Vibe is the second and most
Oh my
favorable
gosh.
song off the album.
Don't kill my vibe, bro. I am a sinner. What'd I just say? God to forgive you. Because I'm about to sin again. Lord, forgive me. Lord, forgive me. Yeah. Some things I just don't understand.
Album and introduces us to a new version of Kendrick. No longer K-Dot, the young boy from Compton, but Kendrick as he is from the release of this album. In the song, Kendrick talks to different people, with each perspective being able to help us understand his message a little better. First, having a conversation with God, talking to him as a sinner.
I am a sinner who's probably gonna sin again. Lord, forgive me.
Taking the time to rant to God about how he doesn't like where rap is going. Telling him that his music is meant to send a message of love and courage, but others just use it to get famous.
Look inside of my soul and you can find gold and maybe get rich.
Nah, this Drake and Kendrick beef really turned me into a Kendrick fan, bro. Oh my gosh. Drake is an idiot. Damn. That nigga Drake is an idiot. Nah, ego really kills a nigga, bro. Ego would really be the death of motherfuckers, bro. All he had to, bro.
Kendrick here seeking guidance from God as
What?
he navigates his new fame. This can also be interpreted as Kendrick having a conversation with two sides of himself. One side is super confident. This side of him feels inspired and believes that he can reach great heights in his career.
We live in a world on 2 different axles.
But then there's the other side that feels unsure and weighted down by everything that comes with being famous.
I'm trying to keep it alive and not compromise the feeling we love.
These two voices going back and forth throughout the song. Then there's Kendrick talking directly to you, the listener. He's trying to stay focused on what's important to him, but people around him are just messing with his vibe, distracting him. The song basically saying, leave me alone, let me do my thing without any of this bad energy. All three of these are valid points and can be used to interpret the song better. And even though this song has no significance to the actual narrative of the album, its solo story is able to capture where Kendrick's mind is at from writing this album. But what does all of that have to do with this?
K-Dot, get in the car. Before we finna roll out. I got a pack of blacks and a beat CD. Get your freestyles ready.
Ah, ring, king, king, ah, ring, king, king.
Backseat Freestyle is the third song off the album, and you can immediately tell the disconnect from the last previous tracks. While those two were focused more on explaining something to you through this sort of calmer beat.
All my life I had money in my life, that was lit.
Backseat Freestyle jumps right off the bat with this raw, aggressive tone. And it's easy to know why, since we know who's rapping here.
Hey, I'm never living life confined. It's a failure, even if I'm blind. I can tell you who, what, we where, how to sell your game right on time.
Putting us back in the eyes of that younger Kendrick from the first track. But the last we heard of him, he was caught up with Shireen and these two hooded people. So what happened? Remember, this story isn't linear. As a matter of fact, this song is one of the first events that happened throughout the day, with Kendrick getting stopped a couple hours later. The story in this song isn't anything crazy like some of the songs coming up, but it's this sort of click that puts everything into motion. Right off the bat, you can immediately tell that this song is just Kendrick freestyling in the back of the car. And that's it. But what is interesting about it is that it's able to help us understand how we're supposed to view this younger version of Kendrick. Because we learn, one, he's easily influenced when he's around his friends, focused on power, money, and women.
All my life I want money and power.
Is two, extremely young, talking about what he does.
I pray my get big as the Eiffel Tower, so I can the world for 72 hours.
And three, is scared all the time. Let's take a pause here and try to learn who exactly is in this car, because these are Kendrick's friends. And while it's not important to identify who each person is, it is important to know how big of an impact they have on this kid. So if Kendrick doesn't think about change in what's coming next.
Hey, sorry for interrupting. Isn't that annoying?
You know what's ironic? A nigga getting ads for not getting ads. I'm tired of this motherfucker. Get off my goddamn screen, bitch.
Friends will be the reason that his life is about to take the biggest U-turn you've ever seen in your entire life. The Art of Peer Pressure is probably one of the most intuitive songs off the album, and really starts pushing the needle forward compared to other songs prior. So what's going on here? The song is an immediate continuation of Backseat Freestyle, and we now know that that song was literally just Kendrick rapping in the back of the car. But as mentioned earlier, these friends aren't people to mess around with. And Kendrick, despite how he's been acting so far, is only doing it to gain some brownie points from these people. Because the truth is, Kendrick doesn't like to get into any trouble. He wants to stay as far away from gangs as possible. He really is just a good kid. But the second he decides to step into that car, so as Kendrick continues
Niggas get with their friends and become entirely different people.
to drive around the city, the more and more his friends want to do. Now, keep in mind that he's been in this car all day, and the amount of things that they've been doing is beyond explaining.
Me and my niggas 4 deep in a white Toyota, a quarter tank of gas, one doing orange soda.
They meet some girls, they get interrogated by rival gangs, just trying to cause as much trouble as they can. But at some point during this ride, someone passes Kendrick a blunt. Again, Kendrick does not want to do this. He has no idea what's in it, who gave it to him, but it doesn't matter, right? Right? Well, we'll get to that later. After driving around for what seemed like hours, they end up in front of a house. And Kendrick already knows what's about to happen. He is not about to break into that house. Think of the consequences. Think of your mom. Consequences? Look at us. Everyone's already going in. If we don't go, imagine how bad everyone's gonna see us. The risk isn't worth it. Look at him. He's scared. He's not like them. One wrong move could ruin everything. Okay, but one good move can make him a legend in the streets. Think about it. You're making this a big deal when no one's even home. No, you know what? There's no way in a million years we're going in there, especially to break in. And that's final.
I hit the back window in search of any Nintendo DVDs, plasma screen TVs in the trunk.
But then, as predicted, the worst happens.
Hey, there's somebody in this room. Wait, what? There's somebody in this room.
Panicking, they sprint back to their car and speed off. They have to escape these cops as fast as possible.
We made
right, they made a left, they made a right, they made a left, but they made a right, they made a left, they made a right, then another right. One lucky night with the homies.
The song is really about this persona Kendrick has been building for himself from each of these tracks, and really is a battle between the angel who wants to make it out of Compton and the devil saying to fit in since this is how his life is supposed to turn out. But his friends keep weighing him down. Whatever they do, he feels pressured to do the same, which then turns into this constant cycle of trouble, which bleeds exactly into what happens right after.
Now you faded up? Yeah, we finally got that faded. On there. I think he hit the wrong blunt though. Alright, here's the plan, look.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They said the nigga was laced.
Kick back as an alibi. Wait till the sun go down, roll out, drop K Dot off at his mama van. Cause I know he trying to fuck on Sherane tonight. And we all gonna meet back at the block at about 10:30. Matter of fact, get the motherfucking car. We finna get at it.
Yeah, my niggas trying to get it, you bitch. Oh.
Money Trees is the most listened song on the album, and for good reason.
Yeah,
if you, the listener, are looking at this song for the first time, what do you think of? Do you think of a tall, humongous tree filled with a bunch of money? Maybe a metaphor for a wealthy person? Or could it mean something completely different? After Kendrick got dropped off at his mom's van, he decides to drive back home. But as he drives back, he starts to think a bit. Think about where his life is going. So as he's driving, he's thinking about his past, thinking about his future, thinking about money. So far, every passing moment, the house break-in was about stealing valuable things.
Hit that house, they tell me is you with
Get it, you bitch.
From 9 to 5, I know it's vacant, you bitch.
The rapping in the car was about how rich he wants to become.
Me and my niggas trying to get
it, you bitch.
Yeah, bitch. Then freeze that verse when we see dollar signs.
Dollar sign.
Everything is revolved around getting $1. As Kendrick is doing all of these horrible things, he's thinking about this dream of living the rapper's life with the money and the cars.
Dreams of living life like rappers do.
Like rappers do.
But then he remembers where he's from, so he's willing to do anything to get that check. He then starts to think about how he's gonna be able to have the most beautiful wife when he makes it, saying that everything in his life could be going horribly wrong. But if he just had some money, all of the issues in the entire world would magically disappear because he would have complete and utter power over everything and everyone, making his life perfect. All from a piece of paper. But at the same time, Kendrick knows that what he's doing is wrong and unethical. So now he can pick the good or the bad. The good, obviously being don't steal, and the bad, doing risky things to get money quickly. In his heart, there's one side of him that wants to start doing the right thing, which he calls hallelujah, and another part that just wants the lust of money and excitement, which he calls Halle Berry. Each side trying to pull him into a different direction, but then a realization. How is money viewed? Sure, money can get you the girl, but Kendrick wants real love. So now he's just looking at her as a distraction.
Be the last one out to get the stove. Don't wait, love one of you bucket head, don't wait.
Think of it like climbing the mountain of life. People will take their backpacks full of necessities and their morals, things they love, but it's a lot of stuff, so it's heavy. So it's crazy what people are willing to do to get up the mountain faster, dropping stuff from their backpacks more and more just to get to the top first. So when you get up...
Damn! Do you want to get at the top of the mountain empty? Or do you want to get at the top of the mountain with morals, ethics, integrity?
There, you forget why you even climbed up here in the first place.
Yeah,
Does
man.
Kendrick want that? So far, Kendrick has been kinda immature.
DOT, the money, power, respect. The last one is better.
But this
I
is
remember.
showing an
I remember.
awakening to what he can finally do to change. So this is it. After seeing Sherane later, his life is about to completely change. He can actually make it out of Compton. All of these trials and tribulations for Kendrick to wake up and finally realize he can make it out. Oh, wait. Poetic Justice is seen as one of those songs on every album about love. So this is a love story between Kendrick and Sherane, right? Well, not exactly. First, poetic justice is used as a literary device, being this sort of special tool that writers use to make their stories more interesting and lifelike. So when you see a phrase like poetic justice, think about someone who's always been too busy for love and just pushes away anyone who's ever cared about them. But then one day they fall deeply in love with someone else, but they end up being too busy for them. That person finally gets what it's like and realizes they need a change. Poetic.
It's a theory behind this. What is that called? The love triangle? Or like lover's quarrel? What is that? What is like? It's an endless loop. The person you want don't want you because they want that another person, but that person don't want them, so they want it because they want another person, and it just keeps going on and 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 on till a person wants that person that wants them.
Poetic justice takes place right after the
What is that called?
first song, where we saw Kendrick meet Shireen and fall in love with her. But what I didn't mention is that Kendrick meeting Shireen to the drive to her house take place months apart from each other, and there's a bunch of crucial information in those months that we need to break down. So from that first song, we can see that Kendrick likes Shireen, but the thing is that he doesn't just like Shireen, he likes Shireen.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you
You
ain't
ain't
never
gotta
got
say
to
shit.
Every passing moment he's thinking about her, wanting her, but he starts seeing that something is kind of off about her because she's always with the wrong crowd and she likes him one day and the other completely ignores him. Turns out Shireen has been sneaking around with
Nigga, is that Drake? Nah.
other dudes, and the dude she messes around with in this song is, you know, not important.
your natural hair and your soft skin and your big and that sundress. Ooh.
Except Kendrick.
Nah, why Drake and Kendrick got a beef, bro? Fuck. Damn, bro. Y'all think Drake and Kendrick gonna make it up, bro? Cause I ain't gonna lie, Poetic Justice is one of the greatest songs of all time. And it only works because of them. I didn't know that Poetic just had this much layers. You know what I'm saying?
Likes this. He likes the chase. How complicated their relationship is really has him thinking that she really wants him. So he starts doing everything he can to start to understand her and get as close to her as possible, becoming friends with her friends, acting cool, but nothing seems to work. Time passes and she eventually gives in, and Kendrick and Shireen start talking more and more every day. But it's extremely clear that she's only using him for one thing. So here we are, sitting on the curb with her, looking as beautiful as ever. And Kendrick starts telling her about this dream he has about true love. He talks about how love should be more than just, you know, taking the skin boat to Tuna Town. It should have a more deeper emotional connection. And if they actually fell in love, Kendrick would be able to protect her and save her from this situation that she's in. Shireen, looking at Kendrick, confused. She tells him she's not looking for anything that serious. So she tells him no, but they can still smash pissers whenever. And
yeah, she just trying to fuck. Fuck.
You know what Kendrick says to this? After everything he's done trying to find true love with this girl. Okay. You know what's really good about this song is that it's placed right smack in the middle. So at this point, you're able to get familiar with everyone and how they would act. We already know Shireen is bad because she led Kendrick to these two guys a couple songs back. So the whole time you're thinking, well, duh, Kendrick doesn't want to be with this girl, she's bad. But Kendrick doesn't know that. All he knows is that he met this girl at a party and he really likes her. Every song has been building up, showing us every fumble Kendrick has taken so that he can learn. Because if we compare Kendrick a couple of months ago at the party, only seeing Shireen as someone he can smash, to now you can see how much he's changing. So us, as the listener, are forced to see Kendrick do the wrong thing, knowing that he would eventually change. Kinda.
Where the audio at, nigga? What the fuck? All right, I'm gonna narrate. I'm gonna narrate. What'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say? One more time, homie. Where's you from? Hey, ask him if you're here for Shireen. Hey, you over there? Oh, wait. I can read. Hold up. Hey, you over here? Wait, what the fuck? Hey, you over here for Shireen, homie? I don't care who this dude over here for. If you don't tell me where he's from, it's a wrap. I'm sorry. Hold on. We're going to say that like this. I'm going to tell you where I'm from. Okay? You going to tell me where you from. Okay? You going to tell me where your granny stay? Where your mama stay? And where your daddy stay? As a matter of fact, get out the car, homie. Get out the car before I snatch you out that car, homie. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta take the meanest shit. The caffeine going through my body.
Good Kid is interesting because a lot of people like to group it with its other half song, Mad City. Now, these two songs aren't here to capture how Kendrick feels or acts, but it's really about what the city of Compton has done to him. Wait, I'm sorry. What the heck just happened? Kendrick just got threatened by these two men and the song just glosses over that? This is possibly the worst situation Kendrick could ever be in right now. This can ruin his future, his relationships. What can he do? Exactly. What can he do? Good Kid sees him stuck. Everyone's left him alone and he's left with no other option but to think, having his whole life play out in his mind. And every time he replays it and replays it, all he can think to himself is how in every situation he's tried his best and be good. Sure, he's had his stumbles, but he was truly ready to change now. So what's happening? What is he missing? Maybe he's gone too far with his friends. Maybe it was Shireen. Heck, it could have been himself. Looking around, knowing that no 17-year-old should ever be in this situation. Ever since he was young, he's felt trapped in the walls of his own mind, as if the walls are slowly closing in and there's nothing that he can do to stop it. That's why he's so scared and anxious all the time. Kendrick again has a flashback on walking home from Bible study one day. All seems good and calm for once, and then some dudes
Bro, is that the Hidden Leaf Village?
him and assume that he's part of a rival gang. They don't ask questions, they immediately see him as a threat. He knows that even though he's not involved in stuff like this, he can be attacked for just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. The chorus also acts as a reflection of the chaos in the city, calling it a mass hallucination and ill education, meaning that people are caught in this shared illusion and broken way of thinking, where violence, fear, and hate just seem. If we look at the album cover, it perfectly sums up what I'm talking about. We see a baby Kendrick surrounded by guns and alcohol, violence. This is all Kendrick's ever known. Again, coming back to reality. Kendrick now helpless and all Kendrick's ever known. Again, coming back to reality. Kendrick now helpless and powerless just sits there for hours. The room's so quiet, all you can hear is his own heartbeat. Seeing nothing that can help, he sits there and he prays. Prays that if he's able to get out of this situation, he knows that it will be meant to be. Everything he's been going through is there to make him stronger. If he can escape this house, he can show the world that staying a good kid can actually pay off. Then the song stops. No explanation, no skit, nothing.
This holiday, Verizon will turn your old or broken phone into a gift. Trade in any phone in any condition.
In a partridge in a pear tree.
From Google. Plus,
In a partridge in a
all three on us. Survive the holidays with Google. Powered by Verizon.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Automatic crash response.
Sarah, this is OnStar.
That's
$20.
Never stops.
Brace yourself, I take you on a trip down memory lane. This is not a rap while I'm slinking.
Okay. Other half of Good Kid, we just saved Kendrick. Oh my gosh. Mad City is the most intensifying song, as it blew everyone away the first time they listened to it. But the way that it comes in with this veracity is not just for show. It's probably one of the most important parts of this entire album, which is super crucial to know later.
If by Rose and Crips.
We'll get to it.
Oh,
So
I got
what
along.
is happening? I know a lot of information just hit your brain, so let's do a little recap. Kendrick goes to see Shireen. Shireen purposely set him up to get interrogated by these two guys. They locked him up, and Kendrick's friends just came to save his life. That means that Kendrick's prayer to God is now in full effect. So, did God send my friends? Did Shireen really set me up? So many thoughts start rushing into his head, with his thoughts getting crazier and crazier, thinking about why he needs to get out of this city. comparing it to a war zone in Pakistan where people keep dying and how somehow it's normal for you to keep a gun on you at all times. Kendrick being only 9 years old and watching someone get shot for the first time. That moment switching his mindset forever. The more and more Kendrick thinks, the worse his thoughts get. If you listen closely, you can hear Kendrick's voice break down at the brink of tears the further we get into the song.
Ugly waving your hand out the window, check yourself. Now crawl your head in that noose. You wind up dead on the news.
It's almost like he can't take it anymore. Why is this happening to him? There's a specific phrase in this song that explains it better than I ever could.
Bend down, where you from?
Nigga. Nigga.
It almost sounds like what those guys said to Kendrick earlier.
I'm gonna tell you where I'm from, okay? You gonna tell me
Where you from?
okay? Or where your grandma stay.
But why is it here? And why is it so distorted and low? Well, the answer to that is actually extremely simple.
Wake your punk, suck. It ain't nothing but a Compton thing. Chill.
If we go back all the way to the art of peer pressure, I told you guys that Kendrick took a blunt with a bit of some of that powdered sugar, remember? So the true effects of that blunt haven't started hitting him until he started running for his life in the beginning. Probably why he was able to outrun those guys, huh? So this entire first section of the song with Kendrick talking insane and going crazy was him hallucinating in the car as him and his friends were driving away. He can't get over how crazy his life is. Did you not see what just happened to him? It was insane. He gets serious and tells us that no matter how bad he makes his story seem about Compton, no one will ever understand what it was like to be a kid going through this. Because it was bad. Worse than I can ever explain it. And that's the message between these two songs. No matter how many times Kendrick is influenced to go out with his friends or be with Shireen, the city as a whole can destroy him as a person. So Kendrick tweaking in the back eventually makes his friends park the car. There's a pretty good distance away from the house, so I think it's a good time for Swimming Pools is the 9th song on this album, and it's funny how a lot of people view this as a club song telling people to drink and party, but that couldn't be farther from the truth. First, what exactly is swimming pools? Well, a swimming pool being a place of fun and jumping in the water, but here, imagine the swimming pool being made entirely of liquor and addicted people are jumping in. This song steps away from everything and focuses on how Kendrick just promised himself he wouldn't get involved in stuff like this. If he can escape this house, he can show the world that staying a good kid can actually pay off. Telling his friends about last time they told him to drink. Picture this, Kendrick is at a party, everyone is drinking, the vibes are exciting, and then boom. You can see that people are drinking to escape their sadness. Others just drinking it to be accepted by their friends. So Kendrick at this party is, of course, not a drinker, but he stands there, watching, observing, seeing what everyone is doing. When all of a sudden his friends end up right next to him, all extremely drunk, pushing him to drink with them. But after some persistent no's, he ends up giving in because someone called him a pussy. See, now that's where you cross the line. So he starts drinking with them, and shot after shot, the room gets darker and louder, drinking more and more to keep up with his friends. Then comes a crucial point. Kendrick hears a voice, the voice of his conscience, warning him about the dangers of drinking too much.
Okay, now open your mind up and listen to me, Kendrick. Your conscience, if you do not hear me, then you will be history, Kendrick. I know that you're not sure right now, and I'm hoping to let you to forgive me, Kendrick.
For that 1 second, he realizes what he's been doing, since he knows that drowning too much in this poison can lead to a crazy addiction and ruin his life. But Kendrick's already gone too far. He starts mentioning having a new appetite for failure, meaning that he's starting to expect the worst in his life. And this feeling just grows stronger over time, saying,
Make an excuse that your relief is in the bottom of a bottle, and the green is in the leaf.
We go back to Kendrick explaining this to his friends, but they aren't listening. They still think that he's shooken up after what happened to him earlier. And so fueled by rage, the only thing on their minds from all of this is revenge. How can we get back at those people who did this to him? They can't let this slide. They have to end those guys life. Without a second thought, they jump back in their car and they go back. Kendrick, not wanting to go, tries to become the voice of reason, but they just keep going faster and faster, even though these two have nothing to do.
They finna bend the blood behind K-Dot. What you talking about?
Necessary to protect him here. And we know that Kendrick is changing, but even him being on this car going back is the single most important part of this
But
album.
just when I thought I had enough,
They stopped to hum me out over a bitch. She's gonna do the same old shit. I'm gonna pop a few shots, they gonna run opposite way, fall right into you left. Wait, hold on, hey.
Apartment 2B? 2B! She's definitely using that Grubhub deal.
Got them. K-Dot, you good? You good? Yeah, blood, I'm good. Dad, you good? Hey, say something. Hey, these niggas kill my brother.
Yeah. So Dave was the nigga that died.
Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst is the most important song. Throughout this album, there's been this overarching story taking place about love and violence, and Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst serves as that climax that a lot of stories have, that is meant to completely motivate the character just for a chance of making a difference. So why? Why is this song specifically so important? Well, this song is cut up into two parts. First, Sing About Me and I'm Dying of Thirst, which we'll find out the meaning of later. Throughout the album, we've been following Kendrick and his group of friends. And unfortunately, we just saw one of Kendrick's closest friends pass away after trying to get revenge for him earlier. Now, this song isn't revolved around that friend who we later learned is named Dave, but is focused on Dave's brother, who I'm calling DB, and how he reacts to finding out what happened. DB just saw his brother die right in front of him, but time goes on and we see him thanking Kendrick, thanking him for always showing so much love to Dave. Even in Dave's dying moments, Kendrick held him, making him feel safe. Even though in this moment he's completely helpless, just being there meant so much to DB. We go back to a specific day where it's just Kendrick and DB alone, sitting, thinking about life, and for the first time in forever, they have a genuine talk, putting Kendrick in this high pedestal since he has this huge passion to make it out of Compton, because for him it was all lost when he was just a kid, telling him about how much he loves his raps and prays that one day when he makes it big, he'll tell their story, shedding light to all those other kids going through the same situation, making sure that his memory is never forgotten. So fueled by rage, he can't get over his brother's death. It's the same nightmare every night, so he goes for vengeance. But one slip up ended his life. But Kendrick here, fulfilling his wish to sing about me, ending his verse with the final words, am I worth it?
Right now, man. Like, we right here. Brother, they just killed the homie brother, man. All right, just call me back, man. So what we gonna do, man? What we gonna do? Bruh, we can go back right now, man. We can go back right now.
I'm tired of this. I'm tired of fucking running. I'm tired of this. My brother, homie.
I am tired of running. Song after song, it's been issue after issue, problem after problem. They're tired of running, they're tired of hunting, they're tired of living this life of crime, chasing these empty goals. They just watched their friend die and just want to find a way to stop all this madness. Kendrick and his friends start to reflect, saying,
how many sins? I lost count.
They've sinned too much and the Reaper is calling. Death is always close by and feel like there's no escape. So how are they all going to change? It's a cycle of violence, greed, temptation, repentance that keeps pulling them in. But breaking free from that cycle is an uphill battle. But then the most unexpected but beautiful thing happens.
Tired of this. I'm tired of you running. Come talk to me. My brother, homie, is that what I think that is? I know that's not what I think that is. Why are you so angry? See, you young men are dying of thirst. Do you know what that means? That means you need water, holy water. You need to be baptized with the Spirit of the Lord. Do you want to receive God as your personal Savior? Okay, repeat after me. Lord God, I come to you a sinner. Lord God, I come to you a sinner.
The phrase dying of thirst isn't about needing water. It's about feeling spiritually empty, desperate for something greater. This lady helping these young men with the sinner's prayer, turning their life into Jesus. No longer running, no longer living a life of crime and revenge, but living for Him. Releasing themselves of this horrible mentality and ready to live this life as a newly found person. And while people like DB were victim of not following through with this newly found mentality, people who did were able to find something greater.
All right now. Remember this day, the start of a new life, your real life.
Do you know what's really fun? Making a website on Wix.
I mean, at this point, we could have just ended the album right here, right? We just went from Kendrick being this easily influenced little immature kid to him having this beautiful redemption at the end. So why continue? Well, I like to think of this song as a bowl of cereal because you have two ingredients.
Nigga, you don't need a spoon and a fork to eat cereal.
You
What
have
the
the
fuck?
cereal and you have the milk. Both in their own regards are perfectly fine separate, but when combined together, magic. So this...
But when combined, they make the morning time epic, morning time epic, morning time epic, REESES, yes.
This side of the story is done, right? It's over? Well, kinda. I like to think that there's one final puzzle piece to make this album whole. This song begins right after with Kendrick expressing pride in who he finally is. This is really important because it sets the stage for the main message of the song, being real. But what does
I'm
that
real,
actually mean?
I'm real, I'm really, really real. I remember that song. I like that song.
After Kendrick took that leap to being true to himself, he realized what's going on with so many other people. He points out how everyone loves material things. Fancy clothes, fast cars, money, and they believe that these things will make them happy.
But what love got to do with it when you don't love yourself?
No matter how much you love these material things or other people, if you don't love and accept yourself, none of it really matters. So real isn't about what you have or what other people think of you. It's about knowing yourself and your own worth. Well, true, but there's so much more to it than just that. Throughout the album, we've been getting voicemails from Kendrick's parents. And at first, these voicemails are very sporadic.
Hey, where my motherfucking dominoes at? It's the second time I asked you to bring my dominoes. I want your body, cause of that big old fat.
See, hell, he ain't even tripping off them dominoes no more. Just bring the car back.
Did somebody say domino?
Don't hang up. Damn, let me Kendrick, you get this message, man. Call me back.
But one thing is extremely clear. Kendrick's parents are flustered. His mom constantly asking for the van back. His dad high as hell the whole time. So they must not be important. Actually, these two characters might be the most important people. At some point after this whole ordeal, Kendrick's parents call him for a third time. Not calling, asking about the car or dominoes, but actually talking to him.
Nigga, did this nigga just put a pizza? I did the same shit. But he was talking about dominoes, the little cube little motherfucking things. You know what I'm saying? The game dominoes, not the goddamn pizza.
His dad starts by apologizing for what happened to Dave.
I already made that joke. Fuck, nigga. I'm just playing.
I'm not for the dominoes no more. Just call me. Sorry to hear what happened to your homeboy.
He tells him that what those people did to him, that's not being real. For him, being real is responsibility. It's taking care of your family. Real is God. His mom takes the phone and tells Kendrick that Top Dog, the music label, called asking if they could hear more from him, saying that they loved what they've been listening to so far, and if he actually put all of his energy into it, who knows where it can take him, ending the conversation with something that would push him forward to pursuing this rapping thing.
If I don't hear from you,
Let me know where you're just like them, but you still rose from the violence to dark violence, becoming a positive person. But when you don't make it, but when you do make it, give it back with your words of encouragement. That's the best way to give back to your city. And I love you, Kendrick. I do what I want to do.
Now everybody serenade the new faith of Kendrick Lamar.
Compton is the final chapter of Kendrick Lamar's Good Kid, Mad City. And it brings everything we've seen in this album to this powerful conclusion. And when you listen to it, it sounds happy. Kind of like a celebration. And in all honesty, that's exactly what it is. This album has been crazy. I hope you see why so many people are in love with it and can't stop obsessing over this man. But there's one final chapter to this story to finally close this book shut. So, taking place way in the future, Kendrick pursued rap, he signed that deal with Top Dog. We're finally seeing Kendrick at a moment of triumph. He made it. He's at the top, dropping song after song, win after win. The fame and the money keep stacking up. Life couldn't be going any better. And with fame, he can throw that whole past life behind him. Who cares about everyone else? He's the one who's up. Not a single thought has to go to Compton or that horrible life ever again. I'm gonna pause you right there. Even though Kendrick is at the top, he's never gonna forget where he came from. Kendrick loves this city and the people that are in it. He embraces it, not looking down on it, but holding it to a pedestal for making it who he is today. Giving back to the people of Compton just as he promised his mom. Showing homage to the city, its people, and its culture. The city is united as one. If the album is a story of Kendrick trying to find a way in the midst of chaos, Compton is that resolution where everything comes full circle. If you've been following this far, then you know that the story of Good Kid, Mad City is deeply rooted on the idea of change. Kendrick says that all kids in Compton are good kids, they just live in the mad city. It changes people, it becomes their norm. So by him telling this story of his introduction to this world, to then his everyday life, to his eventual victory, it shows people that they can change too. We saw Kendrick at his worst in Compton, dealing with Shireen, the constant fear of walking outside, to that key moment changing everything for Kendrick, pushing him to achieve more. A story of personal change from an immature teenager to a seasoned adult. Parents focused on dominoes to passing down lessons on being a man. To us witnessing Kendrick's group of friends go from troubled teenagers to converted Christians. Change is at the key center of all of it. Showing you that whatever situation you're going through,
that nigga hand was ashy as shit.
Center of all of it. Showing you
nigga dry ass hand. Now my shit kind of ashy too. Fuck. Why am I talking?
Whatever situation you're going through in life, with change, you can overcome it too. So find your good kid in a mad city and overcome it.
Damn. Nah, he gotta hit 100K. He gotta hit 100K, man. I ain't gonna lie. Watching this video made me appreciate this album even more, bro. This video was fire. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I am out.